One night to be confused, one night to speed up truth. We had a promise made, 4 hands and then away, both under influence. We had divine sense to know what to say. Mind is a razor blade to call for hands of above, to lean on. Would it be good enough for me now? To call for hands of above, to lean on. Would it be good enough for me now? To call for hands of above, to lean on. Would it be good enough?
Yes. And that last one was kind of funny, I thought. I want to talk to you about something that is very dear to my heart, and that is curators putting in their own work in screenings where there's only 1.5 hours of time to show quality content. And I actually have no idea what I'm going to say, but I put a movie that I made into the screening, and I really, really hope you like it.
Well, to be fair, we did ask you to do that, so I can get you off the hook that way.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice. It's basically there to show that I can do things that do not involve blogs. And it's really important for me that you understand that.
This is person 2184, is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Coming up.
Okay. Okay, so you've seen it. And I totally remembered why I put that in there. The main reason being this film was made with Unreal Tournament 2004, which is a game engine that you can extensively change the way it looks and feels. And so what you're seeing there did not use any After Effects stuff or any Photoshop filters or anything like that, but it's actually running within the game, and you can download it as a modification to the game, and then just run it as a separate level inside Unreal Tournament. And that is an interesting take on Machinima that not many people implement, unfortunately, in these days where everybody has After Effects or everybody uses filters or other things like that. And I thought it might be good to tell you so that you know, kind of thing. Anyway, there's this other movie that I want to show you, which is like the next one. And it also changes the way characters look and the way sets look. And it's also very European. And it's also very deep and something that's going to make you think for the next week and what it actually means. And it's called The Ship, and it's from a guy called Egils Madness, all the way from Latvia. And don't ask me where that is. And it won Best Independent Film Production and Best Direction at the 2008 Machinima Film Festival in New York, which was 2 years ago. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's go for The Ship.
Mal le car l'armoire, à quoi bon le nier? Je n'ai aimé que toi, mon ami. Dans quel nectar étrange tes lèvres tout trempées, pour quel bruit on se souffle de rubis. Dans quel nectar étrange tes lèvres tout trempées, pour quel bruit on se souffle de rubis. Un beau jour je t'ai vu là où le boulevard, et depuis je ne cesse de languir dans cet angle de rue où mon lit à clochard, comme un cheval me foudra le désir. Dans cet angle de rue où mon lit à clochard, comme un cheval me foudra le désir. Et des nuits comme des jours, je reste avec. Je regarde et j'espère qu'il pouvait
I think ultimately it's the French song at the end that makes or breaks it. Okay, so we're almost done with the weird-looking, all things different than the actual game part of the screening tonight. Now, this last film that we saw, The Ship, took about 3 years to make, which is like an insanely long time. And a lot of people suggested if you have 3 years' time, why don't you just learn a program like Maya and do something, you know, actually good-looking and stuff. And yeah, there's some truth to that. But one of the fun things about Machinima is that you can do it in a very limited amount of time. This next film is a student film by a bunch of guys and a girl from Ludwigsburg, from the Film Academy, where I give presentations every once in a while. For like a day, I show them some movies similar to what I do here. And then they have to go, these poor people, and produce a film themselves within a week. And this is what came out of that. And I thought it came out really nice. And it uses the game Little Big Planet.
What's the title of this one, Friedrich?
It's called Maschinenliebe. Very German, I know. enough of that European stuff. And back to some good old gamey fun. This next movie is going to be the last movie that I'm going to show tonight, and it's also my favorite movie, and one movie where nobody can ask, why didn't you do this in real life, or why didn't you do this with Maya, or why didn't you, I don't know, go get a social life or something. But maybe the last question people could ask. It's made with the game Trackmania Sunrise, so it's a car simulator. And it runs about 2 minutes, and it is brought to us by an individual called Black Shark. Nobody knows what this guy looks like, or if he even exists, or if it's the internet itself that created this film. That is my theory, by the way. Okay, so I would say it has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for going through all of these films. And I hope I'll see you guys at some point and go for the movie.
You're going to stick around for a couple questions afterwards?
Yes, totally. But actually, Bob himself can't stick around. He has to go to bed.
Okay.
It's very, very late. But Friedrich will be around for a question and answer.
Okay.
Okay, so bye-bye. And yes, go for the movie.
Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Friedrich Kirschner. Thank you so much, Friedrich. Questions? I'll have to repeat the questions for you so you can actually hear them. Anyone? I'll ask you, what's your favorite video game?
Do you see the connection blocks?
Okay, there you are. Oh, sorry, we were lost for a second of the sound. Repeat.
Okay. Okay. So Tetris is my favorite video game.
Anyone else out there for Friedrich?
Can I make Machinima using Tetris at any point?
Can you make Machinima using Tetris at any point?
Well, I'm slowly getting there. It's a tough one, but I'm sure it's possible. I'm trying to get blockier and blockier. At some point, there will be Tetris the movie, and I hope I can be part of that.
Anyone else?
Can you see the crowd okay?
Can you see what? Sorry?
The crowd here in the auditorium.
Yes, yes. I can see everybody.
Anyone else? Is that
And I could see you all the time. Like, I could see if you were annoyed, or if you were laughing, or if you were falling asleep. And I have that documented on my side.
You can all thank Riley for his night vision camera. Anna.
Yes.
What time is it there in Berlin?
It's 3:30. It's the perfect time to give you, if there's no questions, I can quickly show you how I controlled Bob tonight.
Go ahead.
So this is also the reason that Bob cannot drink from his teapot, because I only have a bunch of buttons. And I can't really press more than 4 buttons, so he can't do much more than just have a bunch of animations. And I use a microphone, this one, to make his mouth move. And this is actually what Bob looks like when he's not performing, when he's asleep. So he sleeps standing, like a horse.
We have a question.
Right now we're watching these videos on a 2-dimensional screen. Do you see a future for these videos to be 3-dimensional, or does that depend upon the video game industry?
Did you hear the question? Okay, I can read. So the question is, we're watching these as 2-dimensional games. Is there a future for 3-dimensional machinima? And if so, does that depend on the video game industry itself?
Well, the big question is there a future for people wearing glasses in a room and watching a screen? As we know, after Avatar, I think yes. And if you can do it with hundreds of millions of dollars, I think you can do it with $30 as well. And there's lots of technology coming out now that has games in 3D, and yeah, I think why not? As long as people have a way to, mess with things, they will mess with whatever is out there.
3D Tetris then?
That already exists.
Yeah, there's another question here.
I guess, what about the kind of 3D where you can move the camera throughout the movie and you can sort of not interact by changing it, but like explore the movie?
So the question is kind of interactive 3D where the viewer can actually control the camera points and actually maybe direct their own adventure through a machinima.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff happens in pre-production. So I think Lord of the Rings had a stage set up where Peter Jackson, could actually, he had a motion track camera and he could walk around, he could actually see everything happening rendered in real time, and he could make camera decisions and things like that. Is that an answer to the question? Did I understand the question correctly?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's stuff that you can do, and a lot of the work that I'm doing is trying to give people very easy tools to do these things at home and not pay millions of dollars, and have 300 people work for 3 years but not build the pyramids, but have blue people run around in boots.
One last question out there? In the back, yeah.
you're treading a kind of fine line between like so there's been a lot of games that have been coming out that have been kind of closer to films. So things like Facade and like The Pact by Tales of Tales that have kind of more like interactive art experiences. And I'm curious how you think Machinima sort of plays into that like realm too.
So the question is that a lot of recent video games are actually very cinematic in their nature already. How does Machinima play into that trend?
Yeah, there's a weird thing that a lot of people don't consider cutscenes as machinima, which is kind of crazy because it's the exact same thing. I think that one of the things that machinima does is it adds a subversive element that is usually not found in games. Are you still there? Because the video kind of froze. Oh, there it is again. Right. So it adds a certain, Machinima adds a certain subversive element to video games that's usually not there. And then there's a huge discussion right now if games should become more cinematic or if they should become more game with quick time events and no cutscenes anymore, things like that. So there's a discussion in the medium of games themselves, but then I think what Machinima really wants to do is maybe a bunch of people want to retell the exact same story that the game tells you, but most people really want to give it a little spin, and try to do something funny or crazy with it. And I think that is something that Machinima definitely adds to the whole gaming environment. That you don't get that humor in most games.
Okay. Well, once again, for all of us over here in Pittsburgh, thank you so much, Friedrich, for all your hard work.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a good evening, and I'm really happy that everything worked out. This was the first time I did anything like that. So.
Excellent. Thanks
I'm
again.
very happy.
So we're going to take a small break. Is Rita's out there already?
Yeah.
So there is some Rita's nice outside where we set up the arcade. We have a huge list of games that we're going to set up here. We've got Nintendo Wii, we have Beatles Rock Band that's going to be on the big screen, Xbox Original, N64, SNES, NES. We have an X-Arcade game with vintage games. And we have new games by the game creators.